Good morning, good morning. This is Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, Jacqueline Richardson, whatever y'all call me. First, we got to thank God for being alive another day. We must, every single day, thank God for being alive another day, being able to open our eyes and walk, even if we're hobbling, you know, like myself. I keep getting this leg pain. It's unreal, y'all. It's just like, if I stand on this leg too long, I just get pain that, like, oof, like something just stabbing me in my legs. It just hurts so bad. But I'm still thankful for being woke because I can work it out and try to get it working and take my bath that I do. I haven't been able to take a bath lately, only a shower, due to certain personal reasons. But yeah, so my leg has been aching me. So today I'm going to definitely take me a Diamond Way Miss JJ Diamond bath so I can try to get this leg right and try to do some exercise because it can really get to me. And then let's check the weather today here in Charlotte. Alexa, what's the weather today here in Charlotte?
Right now in Charlotte, it's 63 degrees Fahrenheit with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast has intermittent clouds with a high of 77 degrees and a low of 55 degrees.
I don't know if y'all heard it because it was kind of low, but it's going to be 77 today, which is probably a lie because like yesterday they said it was going to be 80 and it was 84. Okay, we was burning up. So Alexa was a little off, or the weatherman that gave it to her was a little off. But yeah, yesterday we burnt up a little bit, but it's okay. I like the heat. I'm getting used to it. Today I wanted to talk about, I seen a disturbing post on Instagram this morning, and it was a picture of where the white kids were eating and the black kids had no plates, and I had to pull it up closely because I said, this is impossible. They can't be serious on this, you know what I mean? And I, made it bigger, and I'm like, yeah, these kids are not eating. So I wanted to talk about this, and I know sometimes you can vamp some photos, and make it look like something other than what it is. That's the newest big thing in this new millennium. You can take a picture and a person can be in a whole nother country and they really not, and they can say that because of the background that they have. So that's why I was looking to see if it was tampered with, but I don't really know all these different apps that, it can be tampered with. So I was just saying to myself, this can't not be real. But then again, I had encountered a person, okay, here in Charlotte that was from, and this event supposedly had happened in Georgia, okay? And, Georgia shows me a lot of love with the music. They showed me a lot of love from the beginning, thanks to DJ Mike, Magic Mike, from Canada. They showed me a lot of love because of him, because he plays my music and he shares, the info to them, so they've always supported me. So it was, I was saying to myself, like, come on, Georgia, why? However, I had encountered here in Charlotte a teacher that came from Georgia. And I said, well, what brought you here to Charlotte? Because everybody's big on Georgia, all ATL and, everybody loves Georgia. And, she didn't physically tell me why she left Georgia. She just said, I don't like it. I don't like it. And then she just looked at me, And when I first came here to Charlotte, I stayed with my dad when I first came here. We was with him for, let me see, maybe 6 months until I was able to find a job. Because I told y'all, I went through pure HELL when I first got here to Charlotte. So, I didn't get a job, okay, and I was running around looking for work when I first got here. And I didn't physically get a job until, say, December. I started with Kellogg's December 18th to be exact. And it's crazy. It marks the calendar for me because I started with Frito on December 18th, okay, of 2006. And I started with Kellogg's. If y'all look at this is just crazy. December 2016, okay? So it kind of blew my mind because, 10 years apart, same day, same month. It just like, blew me for a loop. Like, okay, God said it wasn't time yet. Now it's time. Okay, we want you to work now. But it took me a while to get a job. It was just like unreal. Like, you got to be kidding me. This is crazy. However, my daughter was in school and, people knew that we was living with my dad because, when you live with someone else at the school, you have to have documentation saying that that's their home because I couldn't bring bills in my name. So we had to get a notarized letter. My dad had to notarize the letter saying that, my family was living in his home. And, of course, the school has to know about it. So, the school knew our situation. They know if you're living with someone else that it's not a pretty sight. You know what I mean? They know that it is difficult, especially when you're trying to save money to get your own. And I didn't have a job, so I was out here hustling. I told y'all, when people hear hustling, they always think you're doing something bad, and that's not true. Hustling means that you just out trying to get ways to survive, okay? It doesn't mean that you're selling drugs and stealing and whatever else people, do that they call hustling. My hustle was I dedicated myself to driving people that didn't have cars, because I had a car, to where they needed to go, and they would pay me, and that's how I survived until I was able to get a job, okay, and able to even get some services from the government. It was like really difficult, not only taking people places, I would sometimes help people with doing little work here and there to get $1 to make sure that my people ate. So, that's a hustle. Everything is a hustle. It doesn't have to always be illegal, Long story short, getting back into this teacher that I met, she was so nice, and she would bring Egypt some clothes, and she was like, oh, I wanted to give Egypt this. I want, if it's okay with you. And I'm like, sure, if she wants it, it's fine, But she kind of like took Egypt under her wing, and I didn't think nothing of it because sometimes when teachers, know that a child is going through something, they will take them up under their wing because that happened to me. When my little brother died back when I was young and I moved to the Bronx and went to 151, the teachers kind of took me up under their wing the first year, and like kind of held me close to them because of the tragedy I had just went through, and I saw that kind of happening with Egypt. So I didn't understand, like, she hasn't been through a tragedy. She just don't have a home. We live with my dad, So, but they, like I said, they was giving Egypt extra care. And this person, she was from Georgia, and I just didn't understand why. I was saying, sometimes things don't add up in the right. And I'm a strong believer in that. If you don't know the answer to something right now and you're not seeking the answer, it'll eventually come to light. So just wait it out sometime, But like I said, she was so nice. I'm going to tell you how nice she was. She was so nice that I even invited her to, when we moved into our home, because I got my job in December, we moved into a place in February, okay? And when that next holiday came around, I don't know which holiday it was, and I'm like, okay, I know your people are in Georgia. So, you have a family here because you treated us with a lot of, respect and love. So, you love those that love you. And, I invited her to one of the holiday dinners, whatever the case may be. However, she couldn't come because she was actually going back to Georgia to visit I guess, family that was there, or whatever the case may be. But it was just something I always felt, she would just look at me when I asked her, like, well, why? Why did you leave Georgia? She just couldn't give me an answer. And it's not that she didn't want to give me an answer. She must have experienced something that she really just didn't want to talk about. You know what I mean? And I have to respect that. But now, with this thing that I've seen on Instagram, it really kind of bothered me. Like, we don't really deal with the racism too much anymore, when it comes to the schools. I know the police and black men still have major issues. But when it comes to the schools and stuff like that, we don't have those issues anymore, And for me to hear something like this in Georgia, it like really blew my mind this morning. And I'm kind of feeling some kind of way about it because, we have gotten to the point where everybody is treated equally, because we're all one anyway. Some may have lighter skin than others, not even with myself. I have, and y'all see pictures, these kids come here. I have black, white, Hispanic. It doesn't matter. We're going to barbecue. We're going to eat. We're going to do slime. We're going to do whatever it takes to make the kids happy, whether they're black, white, or Hispanic, and I'm around most of the time Hispanic, because a lot of my black kids have moved away, but they still come around, However, at one point, I had all three. I had black, white, and Hispanic all at one time, So, it like kind of bothered me because I don't see that kind of racism here in Charlotte, and I don't want to see that kind of racism in Charlotte. I've touched base with certain child care centers here in Charlotte only because of my little junior, because I was going to put him in preschool soon. I was actually prepping him to be toilet trained, as y'all saw on Facebook, because I'm always throwing things on Facebook when I get excited. And not only that I get excited about the situation, to help others open their mind, because sometimes we forget, and we share information every day to help each other. Like sometimes I go to the market. I'm going to use this for instance. I go to the market and I know it was something I was supposed to get, okay? And I forgot, because I got so much on my mind. And somebody will pull up behind me and they'll have it in their car. And I'm like, oh, geez, thank you. And they be like, thank you for what? Because you bought such and such and I needed that, so let me go get it. You know what I mean? So we all help each other some way, form, or fashion in remembering things that we need to do, and it's a wonderful thing that we have other human beings to help us remember, things that we need and things that we need to do. So that's why pretty much I share certain things, and I was prepping my little junior pretty much to get himself together, toilet trained and getting ready for school, no hitting, no fighting, because he needs to go to preschool. And I went to some of the preschools here in Charlotte already, and he wasn't even ready yet, but I still had to do my research. That's just the person that I am, especially when it comes to my family and my blood, to see who was running these preschools and daycares. And then when I went out there, I saw a lot of black teachers. Not only that, I know one, here in Charlotte. Matter of fact, she was the first person I met when I got here to Charlotte, right before I left Jair here and left, and she was a preschool teacher, that worked in a preschool environment. So I said to myself, Junior be okay, because we have black and Hispanic here, and he's mainly Hispanic because he got more. Well, no. It's hard to say. That's why we have to get these DNA tests done, because it's hard to say how much of what you have, in your body. But he has both cultures, and I'll just say that. So with that being said, I want to make sure that he's taken care of the proper way. Now, here in Charlotte, this is a very, very, very diverse city. Okay, that's one thing I want to bring to the light. So people, don't ever be afraid to come to this city. Okay, because we are very diverse here. We have all kind of people, all walks of life here in Charlotte. This is like a baby New York. I call it a baby New York, because, like I said, even when I was in Maryland, okay, I didn't see the diversity that I see here. And I'm gonna just give it to you straight. In Maryland, you had mainly black and whites. Okay, here in Charlotte, you have black, white, Asian. Okay, a Hispanic, of course, Hispanic. Because it's mainly Hispanics here. They have the main source here. Here in Florida, you know, we have Indians, okay? And when I say Indians, meaning native and Indians from India, okay? So we have them both, okay? So we have the city here. This is why I like it here. You know, once I was able to get, because I was sick for so long when I first got here, I wasn't able to really get out into the city. So all I saw was pretty much the black people and Hispanic people that I was around. And then, you know, people kept telling me, I was working at a place, and they kept saying, you don't belong on this side of town. And I'm like, what do you mean I don't belong on this side of town? You don't act like these people on this side of town. You need to go to the other side of town. You belong on that side. And I'm like, wow, we could tell by the way you talk, you don't belong over here. You belong in Ballantyne. So that's what you're supposed to be working at over in Ballantyne, so people understand the way you speak and the way you deal. You know, and they kind of made me feel kind of, you know, bad by saying that to me. And I was like, now I'm being, you know, judged because of the way I speak and the way I deal with people, you know. So I was feeling some kind of way, but I had to understand where they was coming from. And I didn't understand until I was able to really get out into the city and see what was going on around in this place. You know what I mean? And when I got out there a couple of years ago, it's crazy because I didn't get out there until the end of 2019. And then y'all know, in 2020, the COVID struck. So I felt like I was cut short. But I wasn't, because God had given me Instacart. So I was out serving the people with Instacart and helping them, you know, get their food because they couldn't come out because the country was down. So I was able to see the city, but pretty much alone. You know, just me and Egypt, you know, able to look around and to see the city because everything was pretty much shut down. No movement, so, you know, too much movement. So it was good, but now I want to view the city with all the people. You know, I'm ready for that. You know, like this year, I hope, you know, everything goes well with these numbers and we can actually get back out into the city and, you know, be able to smile at each other while we walking downtown and eating ice cream and, you know, just out and about, you know. So I can't wait to experience that. However, when I got to experience the city, I got to see how much diversity was here and how the people were, even in the country parts, okay? And that's what made me love this city, okay? Because at first I hated it here. I was like, please, y'all come and get me. I can't take it. Y'all, please help me get out of here, okay? But once I was able to mingle with the people and, you know, it's hard to explain. When I got to get out there, and like I said, I wasn't out there with all the people, but I'm actually touching base with a lot of people because I'm taking groceries to their home. And then they're lonely, they're snatching open the doors, they want to talk a few minutes, even though we got to talk 6 feet apart, you know. But I was able to really see Charlotte for what it is. You understand what I'm saying? So the point that I'm trying to make is you have to investigate before you start moving places, you know, and you start doing things, you know. I moved here on the fact of, not because I wanted to move to Charlotte. I moved here because my grandson needed to go somewhere. He needed to be with my dad. My dad was too old to be trying to raise a teenager, and I couldn't put that burden on him while I lived the glorious life up in Maryland. So I had to come with him and help him. You know, that's what led me to Charlotte, for those that don't know. I didn't just pick Charlotte and say, I'm moving to Charlotte. Never wanted to come here, and be honest with you, because a lot of my friends from Buffalo is here in Charlotte, okay? And they've been here, okay? And I said, I ain't going down to Charlotte. I don't want to be down there with all of them. But God led me here anyway. So, you can't mess with God's plan. When God has a plan, he just wasn't ready for me to get out there in that city. I had to go through what I had to go through. I couldn't see. I couldn't breathe. It was just a mess. I had to go through what I had to go through. And sometimes that's the way God does it. And I did it, went through whatever God put me through. And now I was able to enjoy the city, and I enjoyed the city alone. Okay? Even though I wanted the people out there, but I was able to see the city alone. God needed me because, and I sit back and I look at certain things. And I don't know, for those that don't know, I almost died in Maryland. Shout out to Maryland. I always show them a lot of love at Hartford Memorial. They saved my life because I was dying, literally. I had pneumonia. They saved me. Got that water off my lungs and my heart. And I'm here to talk about it today. And when I look back at when I first got here, I was going through all of the issues with my breathing and being sick and everything. That could have led me right back into pneumonia. So I couldn't go but so far, running around, doing but so much. It was like maybe, quiet as kept, I couldn't even drive 2 miles because I couldn't see. My girlfriend, it's funny, one day we driving with me. I said, okay, I'm going to drive today. And she's like, okay, right? So, and it's funny. Now, I'm a person that's been driving all her life, okay? Y'all know, I got CDL. So how is it I come to this whole new city and I can't drive anymore? I can't see. I can't breathe. I'm going through my allergy issues. I don't know why. I don't know what God's plan was for that. However, when I did start driving, I told my girlfriend, I said, okay, I'm going to drive today. You just come with me just in case I can't do it. And I'll never forget her saying to me, she said, girl, if you don't pull over, she said, because you're going to kill us all. Because I couldn't see. But the point that I'm trying to make is that we know that this city is not racist. We know that. I've had black cops pull up on me. Well, not pull up on me, meaning like on the side of my car. I'm talking about like in my neighborhood. And they have been very respectful. They have not, I had one. And I don't know if he was black or white. I don't know what he was. Because he looked half and half. He might have been mixed. I had one that was acting out. And I had to put him out my house. Because my grandkid, he used to get into a lot of things. So the cops will always be pulling up on me. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Not again. So I had this one. I had to put him out my house, But the rest of them was always respectful. Never had no issues, So for the most part, the point that I'm trying to make is people are getting away from that racism thing. So why is it still in Georgia? We need to do some type of investigations. Because nowadays, and now with the Black Lives Matter, because of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, things should be a lot better than what we're seeing. Now, is these people doing stuff just to raise drama? Or is it really true? And if they are doing it to raise drama, this is the stuff that should be blocked. Not people like myself that's out in the community every single day. And social media, see, this is the thing with social media, and that I'm fighting with social media about. They constantly block my stuff, and my stuff is real. But then the fake stuff, they will let surface. You know, and that's another thing that needs to be touch based on. You know, there's a time that I was trying, and this is no lie what I'm telling you guys, okay? Governor Cooper was doing a live on Facebook, okay? And I'm listening to Governor Cooper. It's my job to listen to Governor Cooper. It's everyone's job to listen to him because when he speaks about the state, we need to know what's going on. I was trained that way. I'm sorry for those that wasn't. I was, okay? Maryland didn't play those games. When they spoke and told us to prepare for something, we better prepare for it because you will be the one to suffer if you don't. Because they're going to let you know we told you, okay? So I've been trained to listen to what the government is talking about, okay? And my mom, too, she was another one that was always on my back about listening to what the government is talking about. You know, I don't watch TV. What do you mean you don't watch TV? That's how you're going to find out what's going on in the world. But then God put my significant other in my life, so he watches the TV, and then he could tell me, you know, well, you know this is going on. Really? Okay, now I'll check it out. But now I get to the point where I just do it myself, or I see it on social media, and I got to see what's going on in the world. I help them share it because there's other people that don't watch TV. All they all are on social media, and they don't get to see the things that we see because they're not following or they're not interested. But there's some things that you need to know. They could be getting ready to blow up the world and you won't even know because you don't want to watch TV or watch the news. Anyway, I was watching Governor Cooper, trying to, okay? They cut Governor Cooper off. And, you know, y'all know I love Nicki Minaj. However, they kept pulling up Nicki Minaj's video. They just made it scroll and pull up Nicki Minaj's video. And I'm like, okay, I love Nicki Minaj. But right now, I'm listening to Cooper. Why would you do that? And this is the things that social media does. And then think that we're so stupid, like, you know, we don't recognize that this is the stuff that they're doing. So I'm hoping and praying that this racism that they're showing in Georgia is not real. I'm hoping and praying, you know, that it's not. And this is why I tagged Georgia in this. So they will do the investigations and make sure that this thing is not real. And whoever is putting this out there, they need to be stopped. Okay? Because we haven't dealt with too much racism in America for a very long time, but only with the police. Okay? We're all equal. I lived in a city with nothing but white people, white and black, in Maryland. And I'm going to keep it real with you. The whites act just like the blacks. They be cursing each other out and going off too. And we look at them and be like, oh, okay. So this is what kind of city this is. All right, everybody's the same. All right, let's go. Everybody's the same. We live in the same. You get angry, you go off. All right, move on with your life. It was white and black that was doing it. Same here. You'll see, well, I don't see too many people going off here. Once in a while, you may see a little spat, but it's not that often. Most of the time when we go out in stores and stuff, you know, everybody just trying to get their stuff and get on out of there. You know, especially with this COVID. And I can actually believe that the COVID has trained these people to love more here in Charlotte. You know, you still going to have some of your bad people. They out there, you know, that's anywhere you go. But for the most part, Charlotte's a beautiful city. And they try, and quiet as kept, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I first got here, it was the black people that I couldn't stand. And I'm going to just be honest with y'all, because they had no respect for others whatsoever. And I had to check that. Because y'all know I'm not going to just let anybody talk to me any old kind of way. I'm going to let them know how I feel. You know what I mean? And I can't say, you know, and I'll let them know in a minute. It's always a nigga. I'll say it just like that. That's got to make us look bad. Always a nigga. And I always put emphasis on it. So I'm starting to see that change as well. You know what I mean? If anything, we supposed to be the ones that take care of our people better than anybody else. But then it be always a nigga that want to act up. But then as soon as you get the white one or the Hispanic one on the phone, you see a total, things totally different. Why? So we had to kind of work on these black people as well here in Charlotte. But things has gotten better since the COVID. People are starting to appreciate life a little bit better. So that was the only thing that I had a beef with when I first got here to Charlotte. How the black people present themselves. This is the new millennium. You don't have to present yourself with a shield up every time you talk to somebody. Because not everybody is angry. Because you see a black face don't mean that black person is angry. You don't know my background. You don't know where I come from. So don't come at me with that animosity. Because that's not who I am. But I can show you. You tell me how you want to deal with it. We can deal with it nicely or we can deal with it, And that's for anybody. Black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. Hispanic, it doesn't matter. You show me how you want to deal with something, and I'm going to give it right back to you. We can deal with this nice, or we can deal with it ugly. You choose. Your world, your choice. Because I can do it either way, because you got to remember, I'm from the ghetto of New York. The Bronx. The bottom of the barrel. So I can show you either way. How you want to deal with it. You know what I mean? And once, they learn that with me, I start getting a little bit more respect. Because I can be the nicest person. I can be that bougie. They call me bougie. But I can be that bougie person, as they call me. Or I can be that ghetto bitch as well. Okay? So they had to learn that with me. It's all on how you want to deal with me. And then that's how I deal with you. So, once Charlotte got that part of me, passed, they start giving me a little bit more respect, and how I deal with things. I'm starting to love this city. Okay? I was able to see what my city presented to me. That's why I don't care about staying here. Because I wanted to leave. Y'all see me cry out a minute. They get me the hell out of here. But now that I was able to see my city and encounter other things, I'm comfortable. It's time to eat, y'all. And drink water. But the racism, I don't see. Okay? I don't see no racism here. I don't want to see it. We love. We help one another as much as we can. Of course, you got a lot of lazy people here. Because these people, that's one thing I could say. A lot of them don't want to work. They so lazy here. I ain't never seen nothing like it in my life. I was brought up on hard work. So, I'm a little bit different. And there's a lot of people that was brought up on hard work that's from here. But sometimes you get these people that come here and they just lazy. They get these jobs and they lazy. Don't want to do no work. And you looking at them like, that's not how things go. We got to put some work in. You shouldn't have accepted the job if you didn't want to put the work in. So that's the other thing that we're working on. I'll tell them in a minute. If you didn't want to work, then you shouldn't have took this job. They got other jobs where you don't work. Where you don't really put too much work in. But for the most part, the people that I run with or talk to, we put work in. We works hard. I got a few friends with post office, CNAs, retail. When you got your retail at the top, And the thing about it here, most of the time, retail people here in Charlotte, they puts work in. I be seeing the managers running around doing jobs, and I'm like, yeah, I see y'all. I see y'all. We puts work in. That's why we got the hashtag Charlotte Strong, because we puts work in. Some of us got 2 jobs, 3 jobs, but we put that work in. Hard work. And you appreciate it better. Appreciate your money better. And you put that work in. But racism, I haven't seen here. So, if anybody was thinking about coming to Charlotte, you come on. We don't want too many people piling up down here because we don't want it too crowded. Because even though it's a baby New York, it's not enough space for all you people. Because the traffic is thick. Okay? And I mean thick. So that's the other thing. Ain't as thick as New York, and it's not as thick as California. But it's getting there. So, something to think about, y'all. Do y'all want to sit in traffic? We don't want too many people here. But you're welcome. As long as you're coming in peace. And like I said, again, Maryland, that's another one. Their traffic is thick, too, during the times. That's why they've been building new highways and stuff up there. And Charlotte's even doing it as well. They even getting to put up tolls to make things faster for people because they realize how big their city is getting and how much money is coming to their city, and they can appreciate it. So they're doing some, revising things and, they're working it out. They're trying, and everything takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and they got to upgrade to what's going on, in the world. I had told my significant other, we was riding through Charlotte, and I said, remember when we first got here, this was just grass, and that's how we lived in Maryland. When I first came to Maryland, Maryland was already built, okay? It was already built up, and they was doing more building. However, when I came here to Charlotte, they wasn't doing too much building, but now it's like building is everywhere. Everywhere you go, building. They are building this city, okay? And the outskirts as well, okay? Not only just the city, the outskirts, okay? They are building up. There's not too much land when you drive past somewhere. You may see every once in a while, you may see some empty lot of grass and trees, because now they have built up this city and they're doing more and more each day. So like I said, this is such a beautiful city, and they're making it more beautiful. Now that I was able to get out and really see what was going on. But like I said, that racism, I don't see that. I'm gonna give y'all a little, well, it's not a joke. I was out in Ballantyne, and I went to the UPS store. It was funny. And it was a white guy. He was a newbie, So the guy said, do you have such? He said, what are you about to mail something? I said, yeah. I said, it already has the packaging sticker on it. I just need to give it to you guys and get a receipt. So he said, well, then you shouldn't mind if the newbie help you, right? And I said, now we're recognizing the newbies. And then I said, but you know what? That's pretty good, because if the newbie, you know how when you start a job and you're the new person and you don't know everything, and then people will start pointing the finger and yelling at you because you messed up or whatever the case may be, and giving you that evil eye. But if you know that this person is the newbie, you know that they don't know everything. So you're not going to mistreat them. You know what I mean? And I was able to respect that, that even though it singled him out as being a new guy, but it told me to have patience with him. So shout out to Ballantyne for that, for bringing that to light. And I think that they should do that a little bit more here in Charlotte, because I do see a lot of people get frustrated when things go wrong, but it helps other people recognize when it's time to be patient. Okay? Because the new person is just learning. They're trying to get the job down packed so they can get rid of that newbie tag. I was so pleased with that. So Charlotte, y'all should bring that. I mean, even though Valentine is Charlotte, but other areas in Charlotte should bring that to light as well, so people could be more patient, with the newer people, But like I said, racism, I don't see that here. And it hurt me to my heart to see that going on in Georgia, And if that is the case, Georgia, y'all need to change some things. And y'all need to do it fast. Because we are all one at this point in life. Y'all people could keep trying to separate us, Black, Hispanic, whatever the case may be. But when the COVID came, we all got that thing. Well, I didn't, thank God. But the majority of the people that did get it, it didn't matter. Black, white, Asian, it didn't matter. The whole world. Okay? That's the point that I'm trying to make. It didn't see no color. And y'all got to stop this white privilege thing. Because the whites wasn't privileged in America. Y'all need to do your research. The Native Americans were privileged. Okay? Those are the top of the barrel here in America. And until y'all get that, okay, it just pisses me off. To know that these people are not paying attention to their history. Not knowing what really went on in America. You're only going by what people told you. Or what you may see. Yeah, the Black people, we have this thing where we always have to have this shield up. That comes from not because of the white people, the way the white people treated us. Because of the way the Black people treated us. If you do your history, you'll see that the Black people is the one who sold us off to the white people. And that's still happening today. You got big Black companies that won't help help small Black companies. And we always have to go to the white people or the white companies to actually help us do things. Okay? So you can't keep blaming the white people for something that they were just there to fix. And then felt that they should be privileged because of it. Okay, now you have to do your research. You need to do your research. And it's still happening. That's still happening today, where our Black people are still selling us off to the white people in order for us to survive. Okay? So that's who y'all should be angry with, some of your Black people. And that's why Black people was killing Black people. Okay? Do y'all see the make it make sense? And that's why it makes sense. Why the Blacks were taught to kill each other. Because they was always going against each other. Instead of trying to help their own kind. You have to make it make sense. Stop calling people privileged that really wasn't privileged. And you're giving it to their minds. And then now when they stand up and say, oh, I'm privileged because I'm white, you're getting mad. But if you did your history, you would know that they're not privileged. We are privileged. That's why we're minorities. The Blacks, the Hispanics, the Native Indians, we're the minorities. Do your research. It's sad to see people so dumb. Don't get mad with the whites because they have learned how to buy land, how to have discipline, to keep their jobs and save money. Blacks, Hispanics, Indians do the same thing. It's just that y'all don't see it as much because we're the minority. But when you come into a diverse city, then you can see the facts. Okay? And Charlotte is one of those diverse cities. where you can see that the black, Hispanics, Asians, everybody, they're doing their thing, and they have these big, beautiful big homes. They have land. The same in Maryland. I lived in a development where there was a lot of black people, there was a lot of white people. My next door neighbor, next door to me, they were black on both sides. And I had African, and it was me. Another black family. Then it was a white family. Then it was another black family. And it was one white person lived, excuse me, on our stretch of homes. One white person. And I loved him because he would battle with me with the Christmas decorations. Yeah, y'all, I'm one of those. If I have a house and I got the money, we'd be on the block battling with the Christmas decorations. Yep. Competition with the Christmas decorations. He wound up winning. However, we had the battle. I went out and put some things out. Then he went out and got some things. Then I went back out and got some things. And then we both walked the street and was like, look at it, it's nice, ain't it? Yep. Well, we had fun. We had fun. Maryland. I lived in the neighborhood. Shout out to Havre Grace. We all had older cars. They wasn't that older. So I went out and I bought me a new car. The whole stretch went out and got them new cars. Like, okay, it's time now, y'all. She done started it, we gonna finish it. Then the whole stretch was brand new cars. White and black. It didn't even matter. So you see, you know what I'm saying? You only be what you want to be. It takes you to put that hard work in and be able to live the life that you want. There's no reason to be jealous to nobody else. Whether they get to do this because they're white. No. I'm sorry. I was talking to my uncle the other day. You know, he's a co-founder and he had a halfway house. And he said, you know, Jackie, he said, you know, I never looked at that as really being anything big. And I said to him, Uncle, it is. Because you're a black man that fought to the bitter end to do something for your community. It is big. Because you get to show these people that have this hatred for white people or their own kind that it can be done. They give the same rules to the white people as they give to the black people. It's all on for you to follow them. That's it. That's all. Same rules. Just like you got black criminals, you got white criminals too. You got Hispanic criminals, Asian criminals. Some people just don't want to follow the rules. But then you have those that do and want to try as much as they possibly can. You got blacks that owe taxes. You got Hispanics that owe taxes. You got Chinese, whites that owe taxes. It ain't just the white people that owe taxes. We owe taxes too. Because we make money too. Because we put that work in. But the thing that they're tired of Okay, and I'm going to tell you what America is tired of. The police with their nonsense, because they're so afraid of black people and their ignorance. That's what they're tired of. Then they're also tired of the blacks selling us off to the whites. They're tired of it. Enough is enough. It must stop. Just like the whites get their communities and they stick together, the blacks are supposed to do the same. I don't care what industry it's in. Diversity means a lot for us all to work together. However, we need to learn how to stand and love our own kind. And that's something that we're not doing. And then we get mad when they love their own kind. They only showing us what we show them. Y'all don't care about their people. Y'all people, so why should we care about your people? Y'all taught us this. Well, I'm thankful that that's not here in Charlotte. We try to work together here. I had one of my young boys tell me the other day he was railroaded by the courts. You know, most of the court system, you know, most of them is white, most of them. But you got a lot of black judges out here now. You know, a lot of them. Whether y'all know it or not. We got a lot of black judges, a lot of black politicians. So y'all can't keep saying that, you know, you're being railroaded because the person is white. They have tried to give our people the same power. Okay? It's the rules that apply. That's it. It's just the rules that apply. And you guys don't want to accept the rules. You don't want to follow the cultures. And then y'all want to start pointing the finger and blaming everybody else. Think about yourself. What are you doing to uplift the black communities or the Hispanic communities? What are you doing? Point the finger and tell me what you're doing. What you're doing. Go to the mirror, look in the mirror and say, what are you doing to uplift the black communities? Are you putting in time, money, knowledge into your black community? Something to think about, people. Hopefully one day y'all get it. Well, we got to start with y'all first opening up your brains. Because your brains are so clouded. Y'all don't know what's going on. Y'all just living every day. That's all y'all doing is living. Y'all alive. Put it like that. Y'all not living. Y'all alive. Y'all like zombies. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Jackie, Deja, whatever y'all call me. I love you guys, and I will continue to teach. It's hard for me with all the things that I got going on, but I will always take a little time out to give y'all something that I see that's not right. Even if it means talking about my own people so they can get it right, because they make us look real bad every step of the way. And it's so bad that even social media has picked up on it. And they're even trying to manipulate the situation. When are y'all going to wake up? I love you all. I'll talk to y'all soon.